Okay.
Well, I started Dondero's Rock Shop when I was in college because I had developed a teaching unit on rocks and minerals, and I bought a rock tumbler and got interested in cutting and polishing stones. The unit that I developed was to teach you the basic properties of rocks and minerals, and I really developed an interest in it. Also, in North Conway at the time, over 50 years ago, we had a place called the House of Color. It was one of the best rock shops in New England at the time. And I learned a lot from Mr. McAllister, and also a gentleman called Billy Ross, who had a little tiny tar paper shack up on Hurricane Mountain Road in right here in town. The one thing about Billy is that you didn't wake him up before noon. And if I wanted to go out collecting on a Sunday afternoon, it cost me 2 6-packs of beer for 4 hours. Now, the thing is, at that time, I was looking for stones that you could cut and polish and shape. And this is an example of what we were doing. This is local material here. And it's called Hurricane Common Opal. It's a form of quartz. Now, the reason I point this out is that this is probably one of my favorite pieces that I found and cut. And if you notice that it looks like the old man of the mountain,
yeah, it does.
And if you look at the red line, you have the Indian head. So this piece here, when I sliced it with a diamond saw, very similar to a tile saw, that's the picture that appeared. I didn't dare do anything else to it but slightly polish the surface because the other side of the cut had absolutely no pictures.
Really?
And all of a sudden, what happened is we're cutting a lot of these stones, and I took it to an area jeweler called Fire Signs and see if they had any interest. Well, next thing I'm knowing, I'm cutting about 40% of the stones they set. So the business started for cutting and polishing stones, and then it slowly developed into the minerals, selling equipment, and then into gift items, because in a small business you have to cover many different avenues to get a reasonable flow of money coming in. You can't sell just local material.
Right.
If I had depended on local material, such as the Hurricane Common Opal or the Smoky Quartz, which we find in North Conway, I'd been out of business 50 years ago. I couldn't have made a profit. But it slowly built, and we built everything on with the money that we generated. Because I was teaching school, and this was in Vermont, and then we moved the business back home. This building here has been in the family for exactly 100 years. My grand bought it in 1914. Where we're standing now was my grandfather's kitchen to the soda fountain. He had over here in this area here, he had 20 tables with sweetheart chairs for an ice cream parlor. So, not that I'm not a native, but when they brought me home from the hospital, my bedroom was on the second floor of this building. So, a lot of history has gone into the development. My father was a geologist with the Department of Agriculture. That helped to keep my interest going. And for many years we worked together at the shop.